Hey guys, this is Kelsper and I'm going to be doing my first Let's Play on Fire Emblem 12, or its full title is New Mystery of the Emblem, Heroes of Light and Shadow. And I like a lot of things about this game, but so far, and basically at this point, we'll never get an English release because it's been out for almost a year in Japan. And actually I think it's over a year. But anyway, I'm going to be doing this Let's Play on normal mode, which might mean I use some unfavoured units, and if you post in the comments what unit you want me to use, I could use them. I'm not sure yet. I bet some asshole's going to put use Aaron or use Bantu now, and I'm not going to use them, so don't even ask. Anyway, there's 4 modes in this game: normal mode, hard mode, maniac mode, and lunatic mode, and I've beaten the game on everything but lunatic mode because it's just insane. And it really sucks how this game is not going to be translated officially, because it's much better than Shadow Dragon. It's basically superior in every way. It has much more character development. It's got some kind of support conversations back. I'm not really sure because I can't read the Japanese in this game, obviously. But anyway, let's just we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna start on normal mode. So I'm just gonna pick that. And normal mode isn't too difficult, so I doubt I'll be running into any problems. But anyway, these 2 options are. They introduced a new feature, well, I guess you could call it a feature, where casual mode is in this game, which basically means there's no permanent death rules in place. If your character gets, well, in this case it would be knocked out, they would just come back the next chapter. And I believe this is the bottom option, I think. I'm not actually sure, but... And the top option would be the classic mode, which would be normal, permanent death. Your units are dead forever if you let them die, with the exception of a staff you get later on. But anyway, moving on, this is a new feature in the game. It's a My Unit option, which basically lets you create your unit, which is kind of like a Lord, except you don't need to bring them every chapter. It's kind of weird like that. Top option here is male, so I'll pick that. These are for male. You get different options if you pick female, but there's some classes that you can't pick, and you'll need to use the reclass feature to choose. And you can customize your character a bit, so I'm going to pick... Let's go for a mohawk, purple mohawk with monocle. There we go. Great. And then it asks you different things that you can increase your stats, or your base stats, or your growth rates with. I know some of them already, so I'm going to pick the 3rd one, which gives you +2 strength, +2 magic, and gives you +5% strength growth and +5% magic growth, which will help. And then again, it asks you something. I know the 3rd one here, +1 defense and +5% defense growth. And I'm going to pick the first one here, which is +15% skill growth and +15% speed growth. And then save the game. And this is Prologue 1, Chapter 1 of the Prologue, and there's 8 Prologue chapters, so it's double the size of Shadow Dragon actually, now that I think about it. And obviously I can't read any of the story since it's in Japanese, so it's basically, I guess it's more like a playthrough, because it's not like the story's going to be shown. But anyway, here's the tutorial sort of area, and you'll notice that my stats are in English, and the weapon name and the player name, and that's because I've used a sort of menu translation patch. It's made by Blazer, and it makes it easier to see, and it reminds me like who the characters are, because I sometimes get confused in the stats, so that helps out. And I hear they're planning on doing a full translation patch, so I mean that would be awesome if it works. And you'll soon find out that my unit is pretty much extremely broken if you know what you're doing when you're making them. Even if you don't, they'll be on normal mode, they'll still be extremely good, but they can be absolutely broken. As you see here, I'm doubling for 16 damage already. I guess it is the first chapter, but you know. And Jagan shows up, as the boss of this chapter, I guess. And you look at my stats and you look at his, and yeah, all I have to say is that he's downgraded from Shadow Dragon, which is unbelievable. So let's go put Plant an Axe in his head. I don't really want to. Jagan's cool, but anyway, gonna have to do it and move on. And I wouldn't be surprised if I got an amazing level up for the first time. I always seem to, especially with those growths. I'll put the growths up when I edit this. And Jagan is dead. And level up. Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. That's ridiculous. Anyway, save. As you can see, these prologues are pretty short, but there are 8 of them, so it takes a while. And on Lunatic mode, they are much harder. It's pretty insane how hard they are for a prologue. This is a new character called Katarina. She's a mage, and yeah, you do get her later. And she's one of the only new characters in this game. Most of the characters in this game are returning characters that weren't in FE3, and this game actually has more characters than Radiant Dawn. I think it has 77 characters in total, which is an absurd amount because you're never going to use more than 15 at like the maximum. But anyway, we get a new unit here called Ryan, who's an archer, and he's Gordon's brother if you played Shadow Dragon, and he has pretty meh base stats apart from that 7 strength, 7 defense, which is pretty good actually for a level 1 archer, but his growths are really good. He has like 80% skill and 50% speed and strength growth, which is like his best, I guess, growths. But anyway, this is also Luke, the person you're fighting, who will join you next chapter. Most of the people in this prologue are mostly, the story reason gives it, you've joined the Altian Knights and you're basically doing a bunch of training exercises, so most of them will join you in the prologue. Some leave for some reason at the end of it. But anyway, I'll give Ryan this kill because I want him to level up more than my unit, because you basically let my unit do his thing, his or her thing, and yeah. And this is Roddy, which is the other Cavalier. So yeah, this game is superior to Shadow Dragon in almost every way. I mean, there's a lot more character development, there's support conversations. I like this game just like it feels better than Shadow Dragon. It's not like a complete rehash and nothing has changed. I mean, the reclass thing is still there, but that's decent, I guess. I use it sometimes. But anyway, there is a lot more character development, even though you can't read the Japanese, but you can notice there's a lot more talking and characters. You actually care about them this time, instead of them just being blank slates where they say 2 lines after you recruit them and that's it. So, like I said, these are the 2 Cavaliers that you get, Luke and Roddy. And first I'm going to be talking about Luke. He is the sort of strength defense focused of the 2. He's basically the red Cavalier archetype, and he focuses on swords. And he's really good. He's really consistent, one of the most consistent units in the game, and he has a lot of strength defense, and his skill and speed are pretty decent, so I will definitely be using him, I think. And Roddy is the other Cavalier, who's more focused on skill and speed. The green Cavalier, I would say, but there is another Cavalier you get, Cecil, that is more focused on skill and speed. It's like 70% speed or something. But anyway, Roddy is not bad by himself. He specialises in lances, and he's sort of the balance of the 3 Cavaliers you get. I probably won't be using him, although he does have lower base stats than Luke and better growth slightly, but I probably will not be using him because, I don't know, I just don't feel like using him. Anyway, you'll notice that these prologue chapters are basically a box, so it isn't like much thought is put into them. I'm looking to give Luke a few levels up to start off with, because his he has pretty meh speed to start off with, I guess. Would be better if I could get some of it up. And I will use Roddy for a while, for just the prologue at least, but I will probably be using the other Cavalier as well. Technically you only need to use one, but I like to use two. I like to have both the strength and the skill and speed Cavaliers going together. And wow, someone's almost died in the prologue. Oh well, it isn't big. And I'll let Ryan Man get this kill. Ryan Man! Yeah, Ryan is awesome, you'll soon discover that. HP, strength, skill, speed, pretty good. Ryan also gets a lot of defense for some reason. He's max defense for me before, which is insane for an archer. But anyway, here's Shida or Kada or Kaida or Sida, whatever the translations or pronunciations are, but I'm just going to call her Shida because that's what this patch calls her. The Pegasus Knight. And we're now going to run away. Not really though. And I'll probably let Ryan get this kill again because I think he can kill her in one hit. Not that he needs to. So this isn't the most serious of Let's Play. I'm probably going to be using characters that no one uses, maybe like Warren or something, I don't know, just something to make it more fun. I don't know what units, just post your comments of what units you'd like me to use. I'm probably going to use the units that you need to recruit people, but that's about it. And here you get a choice to choose between two different chapters. It's like an extra thing in the prologue. The first option, you go to Athena as the boss from Shadow Dragon, and she joins in the chapter after. And the second option, you go to George as a sniper who has pretty terrible stats, and Gordon the archer joins after in the chapter after. But since I prefer Athena, or One Woman, because that is the best line in Shadow Dragon, apart from maybe the Roger and Shida conversation. That is probably the best part of Shadow Dragon. So anyway, I'm going to cut the video off at the start of Prologue 4, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.